Jesuit hosting John Curtis Christian. Along with Danny Ream, I'm Ken Trahan on a nice afternoon in Metairie. Here's the batting order for the visiting John Curtis Patriots from River Ridge. Leading it off at shortstop is Brandon Davis. Jordan LaBruza is at second base. Kay Beloso at first. Jay Curtis, the cleanup hitter and pitcher. Dax Ford is in center field. Austin Haensel plays left. Logan Stevens will be in right field. Ian Landreneau is the designated hitter. Alex Michel at third base. Corey Vadream will do the catching for Curtis this afternoon. And the Patriot lineup will oppose a good right-handed pitcher for Jesuit. A good look at Christian Hess, whose numbers have been simply outstanding, Danny.
Look at that, a .63 ERA, 26 strikeouts, and 33 in the third innings pitched. So Christian Hess trying to solve the Patriots here today. Jesuit not able to do it in the first meeting. We'll see if Hess has better luck here today at John Ryan.
Just a junior, and he's been sensational as he continues the family tradition at Jesuit. Let's take a look at the Jesuit alignment defensively against Curtis this afternoon. The Blue Jays will line up left to right outfield of Torrey, Musso, and Sepsich. Left to right infield of Conroy, Ray, Theberge, and Lee. SERIO does the catching. Hess on the mound for Jesuit in their pinstripes, which is their only look. So they're easy to spot. John Curtis in their grays, ready to roll. And leading it off will be Brandon Davis, the outstanding shortstop for John Curtis. First pitch on the way is a breaking ball strike. We are underway here from John Ryan Stadium. Davis to be followed by LaBruza and then Beloso. Great numbers at 383, 3 homers, 19 driven in. Another strike call on another breaker, so Hess establishes the breaking ball early.
Well, that's going to be important to try to keep these Curtis hitters off balance, and they don't really like to swing at breaking balls. So if he can get that pitch over, that'll go a long way in helping Christian Hess here today.
First fastball was pulled well outside, back to the screen, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Curtis is a lineup, Ken, that's going to try to hunt the fastball. They want to hit fastballs, so if you can get some wrinkles across for strikes, you do yourself a big favor.
1-2. Breaking ball hammered to left. Left fielder came in, has to go back. It's carrying to the track, to the wall. It's over his head. Davis on his way to second with a ringing double, and the Patriots pick up where they left off against Jesuit last Friday on a 1-2 pitch.
What a lineup the Curtis Patriots have this year. Top to bottom, they really get into the baseball. Another look at it is Davis turns on that one, drills it, got it up into the jet stream because that thing kept pushing out towards the left field wall here at John Ryan.
Torrey took a false step in. I don't know that that cost him the catch. The ball was hit well. Jordan LaBruza, the second baseman for the Patriots, with a chance to put them on top. Check swing, and it's 0-1. Pest throws strikes. Patriots know that. They'll go up hunting the fastball, swinging. Jordan at 246. He has driven in 7. He's a quintessential 2-hole hitter, though. Will bunt, will hit behind runners. Will work counts for Davis, who has a short lead at second. That's high. Even up. And a ball and a strike. Good look at Christian Hess, the junior. Long look, 1-1. Popped him straight up in the air, short left. Left fielder this time is there. Torrey puts it away. Davis staying at second, first out of the inning. Weather this afternoon is pleasant here in Metairie as we have partly cloudy skies. The temperature at 78 degrees. The wind out of the southeast at 10, which means it's blowing across toward left. Will help balls hit in that direction. Not so the case to right. Here is perhaps the best hitter in the metro area. Cade Beloso stepping to the plate. Junior, two-lane commit, open stance, stands upright. Off speed in the dirt. SERIO blocks it. Beloso's done it in all phases. 471, 6 home runs, 30 RBI. Leads the team in all categories. And by the way, he can pitch too. Doesn't get the heater. 1-1.
Well, Hess pulled the string on the first one, came back with the heater, as you mentioned, right there, and snuck it by him.
Davis second. Beloso takes a changeup inside. 2-1. It's a pretty good read by Beloso. Clearly understood that pitch was coming.
Now they're trying to get him to go after something off speed, try to get him out in front on his front foot, take some of his power away, maybe get him to lift something to the outfield.
2-1. Off speed, popped him up left side. Third baseman Conroy chasing shortstop, chasing Ray. It is into the bleachers down the left field line, and the count is even at 2-2. Really working him with off speed stuff. Good look at Cade as he settles back in, transferred to John Curtis. And has made a lot of people happy in River Ridge. 2-2 the count. Play him the pull. And now full, 3-2. A base open, obviously. You don't have to give him the fastball here. Showed him that heater away. Payoff, off speed, and he is hitting him. He's on base. So Beloso trots to first, would have been ball 4 regardless. So indeed, they did not give him the fastball.
That one got him right above the knee, but that was expected. But they weren't going to come with a fastball there. They weren't going to give him something to hit with that base open. You've got the double play now in order that could end the inning with one pitch. So nothing hurt there by putting Beloso on.
Here's Jay Curtis, outstanding two-way player. Takes it high for a ball. Not just a two-way player in baseball, but a two-sport star, an outstanding linebacker in football, facing Christian Hess, who peers in a jam here in the first. 1-0. Breaker away, 2-0.
You can tell how careful Coach Latino and Christian Hess are being with these Curtis hitters here in the middle of their order, trying to pick away, trying to hit spots, change speeds, trying to do something to throw this powerful offense off course.
2-0. Down and out, 3-0. Curtis dictates 3-0. Dax Ford is on deck. Patriots looking to establish the early edge. 3-0. Strike is called. Double play in order, of course. As mentioned, 3 balls and a strike. Curtis digging in right side. And the 3-1. Runners go. Pitch outside. They choose to throw to second, and he is safe at second base. It's a walk. Doesn't matter. So was called ball 4. Bases are loaded with 1 out. Dax Ford will bat. Now it was ball 4, but he did choose to throw to second base because he felt like the speed clearly was at second with Brandon Davis.
Yeah, and sometimes that backside runner, well, most of the time I should say, that backside runner has to delay a split second because he's got to make sure that lead runner is definitely taken off, and it gives you an opportunity to go after the guy trying to advance from first to second and have a better chance of getting him if that front guy, if the front side runner, gets that good jump that you need to try to take third base. So, not a bad decision there by SERIO, the Jesuit catcher, if that would have been a strike, to try to see if he could get the backside guy who has to delay a split second.
Bases are loaded for the Patriots as Joey Latino, the veteran coach of the Blue Jays, has done an outstanding job, makes his way back to the dugout. Jesuit winning the state championship most recently in 2011 as Jeff Curtis looking on. The birthday boy from this past weekend is 22 again. Way to go, Jeff. It's tough to do, but somehow he's managed it. Or at least he looks it. Dax Ford, the center fielder, corks one on the right, a base hit. 1 run will score. Second runner will stop at third. And the Patriots jumping out to the early lead once again. Ford with his 24th run driven in.
They just don't stop. It's just such a solid order that you have to go through. Every hitter is very capable up and down this lineup, and you have to be so careful. And when you get into situations like this where bases are loaded, you don't really have any room for error. You're asking for trouble.
Base is still loaded, and a strike call to Austin HAENSEL. Another fine two-way player, excellent pitcher. playing left field today, hitting .246 with 16 driven in. Time called as Hess taking quite a bit of time, understandably so, given the circumstances. Just missed down. Equals the count at 1-1. Back to the screen, had a cut, it's 1-2. Hess hoping to get out of this with a double play ball. Or looking for the strikeout. HAENSEL, though, is a good RBI man, as mentioned, with 16 driven in.
Well, the thing that really jumps out at you when you watch Curtis play from an offensive side of things is just the way that they swing the bats. It's a vicious mindset when they get fastballs to hit.
To right field, should get a run home. Sepsis surrounds it, has a pretty good arm. He throws it home. It's an air ball over everybody, and that could allow another run to score. Maybe not. Desmond hustles to get it back. Sepsis tried to throw the runner out. In the process, overthrew everybody. It's a sacrifice fly for HAENSEL, and it is a 2-0 lead for John Curtis. HAENSEL with his 17th RBI.
Good job situational hitting there by Austin HAENSEL to come up with a runner on third, less than 2 outs, get the ball in the air as we take a look at it. Drives it the other way. Far enough out in the right field here. John Ryan for the runner to tag and score. And that puts another run on the board for Curtis.
First pitch swinging and fouling out of play is Logan Stevens. Left-handed bat for the Patriots, the right fielder. This is a big out for Jesuit and Hess. If Stevens can produce a base hit, they could really open this game up early. The Jesuit bullpen is busy already. In the dirt, it's even up at a ball and a strike.
Well, you're exactly right, Ken. This is a big spot right here. A base hit here or an out is the difference between a 2-0 game and a 4-0 game.
Andrew Cashman throws in the bullpen for the Blue Jays. Shot to center is a base hit. One run is home. Second runner will try to score. Here's the throw, cut off, and it's a 4-0 lead for John Curtis on a 2-run single by Logan Stevens. He has his 9th and 10th RBI of the year.
That's a big spot. You know, we're only in the top of the first, but 2-out hit right there. That's the difference between Jesuit getting into the dugout only down 2 or down 4 now as it stands. So that's a clutch hit very early in the game for John Curtis. Taking it right back through the middle. And just one very capable hitter after another in this Patriot lineup.
Fouling one back to the screen is Ian Landreneau, another fine two-way player, and it's 0-1. Landreneau, one of the top pitchers, if not the best for Curtis, serving as the DH today, and a very good hitter as well. Lines it off a Hess to second, flip to the shortstop, covering for the out. Looks like Christian is fine. The inning is over on a shot. Wow. In the inning, 4 runs cross the plate, and they do so on 3 hits. No errors or runners stranded as we watch the final out of the inning. Even that was hit extremely hard and a bit scary at that on a hanging breaking ball. Just defended himself enough on that play as the hat went flying. It's 4-0 Patriots on top of Jesuit as the Blue Jays come to the bottom of the first inning to the plate. And here's the batting order for the Jesuit Blue Jays, presented by First NBC Bank. Nick Ray is the shortstop with Hunt Conroy at third base. Steven Sepsich in right field. Mark Thibert is the second baseman. Sam Ovella is the DH. Marshall Lee at first base. Michael Torrey in left field. Parker Serio the catcher. Bryce Musso in center field. And Christian Hess does the pitching, as you saw. And staked to a 4-run lead, the Blue Jays will oppose the right-handed offerings of a guy that could best be described as a bulldog, a real competitor in Jay Curtis.
And we saw him earlier this year as part of the showcase against Brother Martin, and that's exactly what he is. He's a hard-nosed competitor. He's going to get out there and throw strikes, try to pound the zone, you know, step up for John Curtis on the mound here in a district contest. And you're just getting a fierce competitor, a bulldog, as you mentioned, type of guy that's going to go up there and just compete.
Curtis taking his warm-up tosses, and the defense behind him will have HAENSEL in left, Ford in center, Stevenson right, Michelle at third, Davis short, LaBruzza second, Beloso at first with Vidrine doing the catching for Jay Curtis. And the Blue Jays will try to answer. Nick Ray getting it started for Jesuit, to be followed by Hunt Conroy and Steven Sepsich. Here's Ray, Southeastern Louisiana commit, taking it down from Curtis. Jay's number is not overwhelming, but he's quite a competitor. Ray at 346. Does have 2 home runs. He hits just a ton to left field. Back to the track, to the wall. It is gone. Nick Ray with his 3rd home run of the year. And it's a 4-1 ball game. He is a superb talent.
Really is, and that's exactly what Jesuit needed, because obviously going into the dugout after the top of the 1st inning down 4-0 is not the greatest feeling in the world, but that instantly lifts the spirits of the boys in blue and white, and we'll see if they can string it in and together and get back in this thing.
4-1 ball game. Another look at this one.
Hit this one about as hard as you can hit it. That's one of those no-doubters. Off the bat, you knew that thing was gone, just a matter of how quick it was going to get out the ballpark.
Strike called at 0-1. Now a hanger, and it's even 1-1 to Hunt Conroy. Part of that family legacy at Jesuit as well. 1-1. Hits hard down the 3rd baseline, but foul, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hunt staying in New Orleans, even though Ed, of course, is now in Minnesota coaching as an assistant coach. Former Tulane head basketball coach. Down and out from Curtis. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cashman still throwing in the Jesuit bullpen. Possibility of seeing him soon. Time called by the hitter. Curtis went through with the pitch anyway. Two down. It's 3-2. Sepsich on deck. Payoff. Ball 4. Conroy aboard. And now the Tulane commits Sepsich to the plate.
A lot of life in the Blue Jay dugout right now after the Nick Ray homer, so they're trying to erase as many of those 4 John Curtis runs in the top half of the inning as they can.
Sepsich in it from the right side with a runner first and nobody out. Took a strike. Stevens having an outstanding season as Nick Ray patrols that dugout following his blast. One and 1 to Sepsich. 357, 4 home runs, and when you play in this ballpark and you have 4 home runs, that's pretty special. 17 driven in. Snap throw to first, and back easily is Hunt Conroy. Conroy with 7 stolen bases on the year. Jesuits run well. They have 55 stolen bases on the season. Breaking ball ripped to center, a base hit. Sepsich keeps the train moving. 2 on, nobody out. Some hard hit balls here in the 1st inning by both teams.
Well, Jesuit, answering right back, and that's what I'm sure Coach Latino is most proud of right now, is that they went down 4. Ray gives you the big homer, and then you put back-to-back guys on base, still with nobody out.
Nobody out. Mark Thieberge will bat. Another Tulane commit at 391 coming in. Lefty swinger. Hacking, and it's 0-1. Mark at 391 leads the team with 20 RBI. Bounced it. Good stop by Vidrine. It's 1-1. If you like offense, you might be watching the right game today. 2-1. Curtis has to locate. He's not going to overpower you. inside edge, and it's 2-2. Good pitch. Sun breaks through and time is called. Second time Jesuits gotten time called right before Curtis was ready to deliver. He likes to work very quickly.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of stepping out, getting time from the umpire, stepping out and changing up that rhythm.
And the 2-2. Called him out. Borderline for sure, one gone. Plate looked to expand a little bit there.
Yeah, it looked like that one might have been off the outer part of the plate, but Curtis gets the call nonetheless.
Big strikeout of a very good hitter in the process. Sam Ovella, who's been red hot, will bat. And he calls time because Curtis was trying to go into his stretch while he was just getting into the box. So, again, you're going to see a lot of this from Jesuit against Jay Curtis. Who's ready quickly. And pitching. Over but high. Mentioned Ovella's been hot. Numbers certainly indicate that. 400. Tops on the team with a home run. 15 driven in for Sam. Down a ball, 2-0. Interesting when you see second generation young men. I went to grammar school with Dad and went to high school with Dad. Well, not Dad, but his uncle. Dad, I grew up with. Strike call. That's 2-1. Don't want to give away the street, but they live in Metairie. 2-1 the count.
Don't give away too much info.
Pitch on the way. That's high. And it's 3-1.
Ovella trying to get a pitch that he can do something with here. Being very patient. Should get something good here.
Time called again.
3-1 count with runners on first and second. Nowhere to really put you here. Jay Curtis is going to have to come in the zone.
3-1. Strike called, full 3-2. Now if you're Joey Latino, do you start the runners against a pitcher who's not a power pitcher? Joey Latino looking on. Runners are not going. Payoff pitch is fouled out of play right side. Holding at 3-2.
Curtis tried to come in on the inner part of the plate with that pitch, and Ovella did a good job of fighting it off. Good thing for the hitter in a 3-2 count, as you know, the pitcher has to keep coming in the zone. He's got no choice in the 3-2 count, so you should just be trying to hit a strike, hitting something close to the zone.
On 3-2, here's another payoff pitch from Curtis to Ovella. Ball 4, bases loaded. Now that call against D-Bears looks very big, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a huge strikeout because you've got a inning-ending double play still in order with the bases loaded here, and that's a big thing that you're always trying to do is keep double plays in order.
Bases loaded, one out. Marshall Lee with a chance from the left side. Swings and shoots it into left center field. That ball is going to be caught on a no, it's safe. He did not come up with it. Sliding effort, run scores. That's a 4-2 game. Diving effort by HAENSEL. Hit the glove, couldn't secure it. First pitch swinging. Marshall Lee with his 15th driven in on the season.
I thought that one was definitely getting down in the gap. What a great effort by Austin HAENSEL, the left fielder for the John Curtis Patriots, on a full sprint. Leaves his feet. Looked like he had made the catch, but it did get down on the ground. Good call by the umpire, obviously. And Jesuit keeps the inning going, and that's the key when you're down, is to keep passing that baton.
A little slow roller foul off the bat of Michael Torrey, the left fielder. It's 0-1. Torrey, right-handed hitter. It's 4-2. Now Jesuits cut the lead in half, and they have the tying run in scoring position as Torrey hits 234 with 11 driven in. 1-1 now. Cashman still in the Jesuit bullpen.
Torrey, a two-sport athlete for the Blue Jays, also plays running back for Mark Sanji on the Jesuit football team.
To short, second, and he is safe as he pulled him off the bag. And it's a 4-3 game. That's a fielder's choice. And an RBI produced by Michael Torrey, and the Blue Jay rally continues.
Well, you got to really tip your cap to the Blue Jays for responding the way they have in this inning. A little help there from John Curtis, not getting that forced play at second. As the umpire said, LaBruza came off the bag.
Again, first pitch swinging. That's been the theme, hasn't it? And a foul off the bat of Parker Serio, who now has the go-ahead run in scoring position in a 4-3 ball game.
Seeing who can win the inning right now. Thought Curtis was in great shape in general. Jesuit has a chance to win the inning.
Pop foul back and out of play at 0-2. So a fielder's choice and an error on the throw by Davis, and an RBI as well. That's a lot happening in one play. On 0-2, another from Curtis. Tried to get him to chase a high one. 1-2. Bullpen silent for John Curtis. Hung that one, check swing foul. Not where you want the breaking ball, though. Hung right up there for him, but obviously Serio wasn't looking for it. Curtis laboring a bit. Gets this ball to left very well. Left fielder, foul territory, and out of play. Had the distance. Ball was turned on very well by Serio.
Got the bat head out in front and drove that ball. Just turned on a little bit too much. Out over the foul part of the left field wall.
Holding it 1-2. Serio waits. Curtis delivers. Foul back to the screen. That's the third straight that he's fouled off with 2 strikes, making Curtis work very hard. Still only 1 out here with the bases loaded and 3 runs home. Struck him out with a curveball. Great pitch. Big strikeout for Curtis for the second out. Now it takes a 2-out hit for Bryce Musso as Curtis gets his second strikeout of the inning.
And Serio knew that one. He was on his way to the dugout before the umpire even made the strike 3 call. Just tip your cap to Jay Curtis. Made a very good pitch right there.
Through the fastball by Musso. Another 2 Sports Star. And it's 0-2. Musso back in. Quickly the 0-2. Bounced it 1-2. We've seen a lot of fast workers, and the kid at Rummel, Zach Cook, is the fastest worker I've seen until today. Jay Curtis is working faster than that, and he worked fast the first time we've seen him. I mean, he's just catching the ball and pitching, which is why Jesuit stepped out quite a bit on him.
Well, you got to try to break that rhythm up. You don't want a pitcher to get in a rhythm. If you can do some different things to affect that, definitely want to do that. So Jesuit calling time, making him wait on them helps.
Struck him out with a curveball, so Curtis avoids further damage. 3 runs cross the plate for the Blue Jays on 3 hits, 1 error, 3 stranded after 1. John Curtis 4 and Jesuit 3. Time now for Traditions, presented by Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905. Jesuit and John Curtis are two of just 5 teams from our viewing area to win state baseball championships this decade. The others, Lutcher, North Lake Christian, and St. Thomas Aquinas. Great trivia question of sorts as the bottom of the second gets underway with a strike call to Nick Ray, who homered in the bottom of the first against this pitcher. This time hits one to deep short. Long throw coming and safe at first. Nick Ray beats the wrap. He's 2 for 2. He's a big man, but he runs well.
Yeah, he runs well, really good athlete. Hit that one deep in the hole. Not a whole lot Davis could do with that one. Davis made that play about as close as he probably could have.
Ray leads off the second with a hit, just like he did in the bottom of the first inning, Danny.
Bottom of the first, that one left the park.
Throw to first to chase Ray back. Nick has stolen 7 bases. Conroy walked and scored in the first. Showed bunt, took a strike. Snap throw to first, runner back. Ray going, swing and a miss. Throw is perfect. He is safe. Just outran the ball. Perfect throw made by Vidrine. Jeff Curtis is going to argue the call. We'll see it again. Looked like he got the hand in at least with the naked eye, but it'd be good to watch it again as Ray gets his 8th stolen base of the year.
Jeff Curtis not happy with the safe call, letting it be known. Might get him a call later in the game.
Judge for yourself.
Take another peek at it. The ball beats
Safe.
him, but he did get that left hand in there. Good
That's
call by the
perfect call,
umpire,
yeah.
but not bad for Jeff to go out there and voice a little displeasure. It might get you a call later in the game.
Certainly. That's what it looked like with the naked eye. It turned out to be the case.
The
On
human
0-2,
element.
fly ball right field. Right fielder over toward the line. Ray tags, catch made, throw to third, and Ray is going to slide safely. And again, his speed really giving Jesuit an opportunity here to tie this game.
Good base run in there. One of those fly balls that was taken the right fielder towards the line. It was going to be a long throw for him. Nick Ray with good speed, able to move up 90 feet. Situational hitting here now for Steven Sepsich, another Jesuit senior. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Man on third, less than 2 outs.
Took it high. Sepsich singled and scored in the first. The Tulane commit with a great chance, has 17 RBI on the year. Good breaking ball for a strike. That's really been Jay's best pitch so far.
It has. He's done a good job of breaking that pitch off and giving these Jesuit hitters some trouble with it.
Waited on that one, but waited a little bit too long and fouls it out of play. Sepsich in the hole 1 and 2. The 0-2 pitch. Missing down 1 and 2. 2 and 2, pardon me. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Sepsich. Stays in the box, ready to do business. Curtis ready, here it is. 3 and 2. Unlike others, Sepsich just staying in there. Curtis wants to work quickly. Sepsich ready to get it on. 3 and 2 the count. And now time called as the catcher wants to talk to his earler. Vidrine out to talk to Curtis. Make sure they are on the same page here. Don't have to pitch to Sepsich here. A very dangerous hitter, but a good one on deck as well at Thieberge. Toward third, foul. Holding at 3 and 2. Steven, a deep breath, will settle back in. Another payoff. Toward third again. Runner for home. He'll score. Play will be to first. He is safe. That'll be an error. RBI on the play has to be with the runner running on the play. So we're tied at 4 as Sepsich drives in his 18th run and reaches on an error.
Jesuit playing a little contact, as you call it, going on ground ball contact, running right in front of the third baseman. Michel may have thrown him off a little bit. Probably made him trying to make a play that he wasn't ready to make because of the speed of Nick Ray. Ball gets away from him, and Jesuit has tied the game.
Swing and a miss by Thibert, who was called out on strikes in the first. One and one.
And this game tied now at 4 is all about Nick Ray's speed. He was able to beat the infield single out, steal second base, move up to third, and then score right there. His speed just tied the game.
Strike called. It's 1 and 2. 2 errors now for the Patriots. You do give an RBI on the play. Sefcich with the runner going. Can't assume it out at the plate there. Throw to first, runner back. 1-2. Off speed high. It's 2 and 2. Straight up for Thibert defensively. This big ballpark. Runner goes. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Wide. He's safe. So a strikeout of Thibert for the second time. Sefcich steals second. He's in scoring position with 2 outs. Second stolen base of the inning for the Blue Jays. That gives Sam Ovella a 2-out opportunity to perhaps put Jesuit on top. Ovella walked his first time. Waited on the breaker and fouled it back. Cavernous ballpark to be certain. John Ryan Stadium. Time called. It's 320 down the left field line. That's the only short spot in the park. Now, they don't have it marked in left center, but left center is about 450. And it's 400 to straightaway center, 370 to right center, we're told, and 325 to right. And for the most part, those are major league dimensions, and then some. The pitch drives it to left. Left fielder there, though, and making the catch is HAENSEL. Inning is over. Jesuit ties it on a hit with an error. Strand their fourth. And after 2, we're tied at 4 on the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by the Louisiana Baseball and Softball Academy. For more information on membership plans, camps, clinics, and more, visit LouisianaBSA.com or call 504-733-8660. Tied at 4, top of the third, heart of the order. Gabe Beloso leads off against Cashman, and he corks it to right. Right fielder back with a play. He's there and makes the catch. For out number 1. Beloso hit it on the screws. Sefcich had him played perfectly. 1 gone.
Well, Cashman's done a nice job since he entered the ball game of pitching to contact, letting his defense make plays. It's a big park. You don't have to do it all by yourself on the mound here at John Ryan. At this level, you can feel pretty confident that if you make good pitches, you can let your defense play for you.
Jay Curtis swings at the first pitch, drives it toward right center. Long run, won't get there. Curtis with a base hit. So Curtis splits the defenders. MUSSO and Sefcich for a 1-out single here in the third. First hit off of Cashman. And a courtesy runner, Kate Como, running for Jay Curtis, the pitcher. Dax Ford will bat. Ford singled and scored in the first. Cashman, a protracted pause there. 1-0 the count, trying to freeze the runner. Como. Como has stolen 8 bags on the year in 10 attempts. Long look again by Cashman. Finally, the hitter calls time. You knew that was coming at some point.
Good speed on the bases right now. Jesuit understands that, so they're trying to keep the runner at bay, try to keep that double play in order. That could end the inning.
Two balls and no strikes to Ford, who had the RBI single back in the first and scored, and hit it hard like many of the Curtis hitters did as Cashman gets a new ball. It's been really good for Jesuit this year. His 26 innings pitched. His 2.15 ERA and 3 saves. Throw to first to chase Como back. All turf field here at John Ryan Stadium, where they play their soccer home matches and practice football. Thus the lines on the field: blue for football, red for soccer. Another throw to first, and of course, as we've mentioned several times since this stadium opened, we did the very first game back, 2011. This mound is not real dirt, it's mechanical. But nobody seems to have a problem with it over a period of time that we've seen. 2-0 pitch, and it's 2-1 to Ford.
You're starting to see a lot more schools and college programs go to the all-turf mound. It's a lot easier for maintenance purposes. Tulane did that this year at Turchin Stadium. There's a good look at the all-turf mound here at John Ryan that Floyd Guidry keeps up so nicely. Even though it's not dirt, there's a lot that has to be done.
He's really good with the blower. I just want to tell you that. He does a great job with that blower. He really does, man. Cleans it off beautifully. I mean, outstanding work. Floyd's a great guy, man.
Floyd Guidry does a great job keeping up this stadium, maintaining this multi-sport facility for Jesuit.
Yeah, I was having fun with that, but obviously that's what you have to do with many portions of the turf field to keep it clean, is to use that portable blower that gets things back where it needs to be. 2-1. Cork to right with a play. Sefcic makes the catch. Returning to first, Como, and 2 gone.
Well, that's what you want. I've said it time and time again. In this big park against a lineup like Curtis, that's really what you're trying to do, is let them hit the fly balls of your outfielders.
Austin HAENSEL, a sacrifice fly his first time up in the first to drive in his 17th run of the year. More likely to see Como try to run with 2 outs. Jesuit's done a good job of freezing the runner with protracted stretches and throwovers to this point, as Lee holds the runner on. In the air to right, Sefcic with a chance here to retire the side. And he does. No runs and a hit. Second runner stranded for the Patriots. Cashman doing the job. Bottom of the third. We're tied at 4 on WHNO TV 20. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase was presented by the Acadia Music Fest, Saturday, October 28th in Thibodaux. For the latest news on this fall's lineup, visit acadiamusicfest.net. Marshall Lee at the plate for Jesuit, fouls off the first pitch, fouls off the second pitch. And he's in the hole 0-2. Lee to be followed by Torrey and Serio. Lee singled home a run in the first. Tied at 4 here in the bottom of the third. Strike 3 call. Curtis backdoored him for out number 1. Strikeout number 5 for Jay. And now he'll face Michael Torrey, who hit the fielder's choice ground to the third that drove in a run, and he reached on an error. One of 2 made by the Patriots. Down and out, skips away from Vidrine. One 0, 2-0. Wind has died down. Flags are fairly still in center field. Wind was blowing across toward left. Slowly toward third. Coming to get it, Michel with time. Throws low. Safe at first. That's another error. His second and the third by John Curtis, whose infield is struggling. So runner first and 1 out on the third error by the Patriots infield, which will bring Parker Serio to the plate. Parker struck out swinging in the first inning. Torrey back in. Good runner, as we know from football. 5 stolen bases on the year. That's a line drive, base hit to left. Serio comes through. Stopping at second is Torrey. And it's 2 on, 1 out for the Blue Jays. And Bryce Musso will have a chance to give Jesuit its first lead.
Well, Serio had a really good first at bat of the day. He struck out, but it was a really good pitch that was made by Jay Curtis at the time. But he kind of picked up, had another good plate appearance right there with the single to left.
Musso's driven in 8. Joey Latino talked to him briefly, sends him up to the batter's box. Speed at second with Torrey. Serio runs at first. Showed bunt, took a strike.
Triple a day. Courtesy running over
Leday
at first for Serio, the catcher.
Leday, the senior. And it's 0-2. Good location from Curtis, who has 5 strikeouts in the game. Oh-2. And it's 1-2. Good block by Vidrine. It's important to keep those runners at first and second with less than 2 outs, especially with Ray looming on deck. And the 1-2. Check swing roller. Curtis will get it. Runners move up to second and third with 2 outs. So now Nick Ray bats, and with a base open, you can pitch him carefully.
Yeah, you can be careful. Don't have to give him anything real good to hit. That's probably what Curtis is going to go talk about right now, is how they're going to approach this at bat against Nick Ray with the base open.
Yeah, in many ways, Joey Latino might have preferred it to be first and second with 2 outs, which is more inviting for Curtis to challenge the hitter, but with a base open, not as likely here. I don't know if they'll give him the intentional pass, but could pitch around him for sure. So bottom line is that it's a situation where they don't have to pitch to him if they don't want to. Of course, this ballpark, John Ryan Stadium, special time. We were here for the opening of this ballpark. Jesuit and Holy Cross. The mayor was on hand. The parish president was on hand. John Ryan was on hand. It was a special night. John was a great high school pitcher at Jesuit. And as for the game itself, you remember that pitcher? He was pretty good. I'm sure you remember him.
Emerson Gibbs.
You bet. Awfully good. And then Robert driving one to deep center field. And in this ballpark, hard to get it out to center field. He hit that ball a ton back on March 2nd of 2012. It was a special night here when they opened this facility. And I'll tell you what, it looks pretty much the same way. They've done a marvelous job of keeping this facility spick and span. Nick Ray bats. He's homered and singled. And he took a breaking ball. It was over but high. A ball and no strikes on Ray. They're deep for Nick. Slightly to pull. Took it in 2-0. Ray has to stay within himself and not expand the zone.
Needs to be very patient, understand what he's looking to do here in this big at bat with 2 outs.
Got a strike over the outside corner of the knees, but a pitcher's pitch to be certain. 2-1. 2-1. Doesn't chase there, and it's 3-1. I'd be surprised if he sees anything straight here.
Yeah, when Curtis went to the mound and talked about this at bat, I'm sure Coach Latino told Nick Ray, hey, that base is open. Make sure you stay, very committed to hitting good pitches. Do not get yourself out.
Ball 4. He did not. The unintentional, intentional pass loads him up for Hunt Conroy, who's walked and scored and flied to right. It's a right approach by Jeff Curtis. No question about that. Now there's a force in any base. And now Jay Curtis pitches from the windup. 1-0. Another big situation in the game. Jesuit stranded him loaded in the first. 2-0.
Nowhere to go here, so should be a pretty good pitch to hit for Hunt Conroy.
Strike is called, 2-1. Three balls and a strike. And I don't know if it's an automatic take, but if you're Hunt Conroy, you don't want to swing here unless you're 100% sure.
Curtis has got to bring it in there right here, and he does.
With a fastball, so here comes the best play in baseball. Merry-go-round begins. 3-2, 2 outs with the bases loaded. Big pitch in the ball game. There they go. Chop foul. Let's do it again. At 3-2.
And he's in the windup, so as soon as these base runners see that left foot go back, they're going to take off. The runner at third is going to get wide, making sure that he doesn't affect the hitter in any way.
Runners go. Roller toward the right side. First baseman's there. Tag will be applied by Beloso, and the inning is over. So again, Jesuit will strand them loaded. No runs in the inning on a hit and error. 3 left. They've stranded 7 runners after 3, tied at 4 on the first NBC Prep Showcase. This portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by Park Lakewood Apartments, located on the west bank of St. Charles Parish. a short commute to New Orleans. Park Lakewood Apartments. Let's take one more look at the play that ended the bases loaded threat in the third inning as Conroy tries to avoid the tag and hits his hand hard. And it took a while to get up, but he is up and he is in the game. And that's good news. Hurting a little bit there and frustrated as well. Andrew Cashman back to the mound. Pitch in his third inning. He stabilized things for Jesuit. It's tied 4-4. So we go to the fourth. Blue Jays have 5 hits to 4 for John Curtis. 3 errors for the Patriots. And that inning, Jay Curtis pitched around an error and a walk. Give himself a chance. And he did. Got out of it. So the Blue Jays and the Patriots tied at 4. So we get set to start in the fourth inning. So we're going to make the move here anyway. They tried to keep Conroy in the game, but he's out, Danny, and we'll get those changes here momentarily as Conroy tried to go for it, but he was unable to stay in the game. So Tebers moves to third, so Tebers at third base now.
Matt Alexander now playing second for the Blue Jays.
So Alexander at second for Conroy. Fourth inning begins. And Cashman missing to Logan Stevens, who had a big 2-out, 2-run single in the first inning. That was the biggest hit of the game because it came with 2 outs and produced a pair. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
And that's why really, Ken, on that ground ball there, they've got you. You know, they got you the ground out. That's the bottom line. You really need to be careful anytime you try to slide head first into first base, especially in a situation like that where Veloso is there waiting with the ball. You're out. That's just the way it is. You don't need to leave your feet and go head first into that first baseman.
Now 3 balls and no strikes to Stevens, to be followed by Landrino and Michel in the fourth. Three and 1.
Hey, back to your pitch. Attack your pitch if you see it now.
Center fielder Musso has him slightly to pull. Wind is kicked up again, blowing across toward left field. The 3-1. Out of play over the grandstand roof, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Curtis with a couple of guys throwing. They've got a lefty and a righty throwing in the bullpen. That would be Dax Ford along with Austin HAENSEL. Both in the lineup right now. And he walked him. Stevens aboard with a leadoff walk in the fourth. The first issued by Cashman. And now Ian Landrino, who lined that shot off of the starting pitcher, has ended up turning into an out. Has left the game.
Leadoff walks are tough. Tough to pitch around, especially at the high school level. So we'll see if Cashman can try to work his way out of this.
Bunting it toward there. That's a beautiful bunt. Play will be to first. Tebers handles that. Snap throw to second. Close. Ball away, though. Sacrifice works for Landrino. Ray tried to apply a quick slap tag and unable to secure it. Alex Michel will have the opportunity for the Patriots. Flew out to center in the second.
Jeff Curtis trying to reignite the offense.
1-0.
Cashman's done a nice job for Jesuit out of the pen.
One ball and no strikes. Straight up the chute. Third baseman Tebers calls for it. Makes the catch. Holding second is Stevens. Back to the top of the order and Brandon Davis.
Big out there. Pop up on the infield runner. Cannot advance. And here's a clutch spot for Brandon Davis to see if he can come through with a big 2-out hit.
Joey LATINO to visit the mound, and the bullpen will get busy for Jesuit again as Chris Beebe has grabbed the ball and heads down that way to begin to warm up. Long conversation at the mound as Beebe begins to short toss to get himself ready. He's a ways from being ready. And with Davis at the plate, you have a base open here. So once again, you think about it. Do you say, okay, this is the more dangerous hitter of the two, therefore I'm going to pitch him carefully, much like we saw with Curtis against Nick Ray?
Yeah, I think anytime you have the base open, it gives you that luxury, so to speak, of being able to pitch around a guy. If you fall behind, you don't have to give him anything real good to hit. But, you know, you're at the top of their order, so it kind of gets to that pick your poison part of the Curtis lineup.
Davis has the ringing double and a run scored, and he's grounded out. One and 0 the count. You fall behind, I don't think you really want to pitch to Davis. Just looking at the numbers, Jordan LaBruce is a good player, but Davis is hitting 177 points better than the next hitter. And he's already touched one off in this game. Challenged him and paid the price. Runner's going to round third, heads for the plate. Throw is not going to be in time. Curtis takes a 5-4 lead. There was a choice to be made there, and Davis made them pay.
And Torrey, the left fielder for Jesuit, because of Davis's power, was pretty deep. He really did not have a chance of throwing the runner out as Davis turns on that one, shoots it out into left. You can see how deep Torrey is right there. Took him a while to get to the ball. Curtis able to take the 5-4 lead. Jeff Curtis laying that bunt down early in the inning pays off.
Here's LaBruza, who's fly to left, fly to center. Davis a big threat to run. Outside for a ball. Brandon with 11 steals on the year. Two sports star, outstanding football defensive back. Davis chased back. And he touched him with that pitch. He did. Hit him with the pitch. LaBruza will go to second. To first, rather. Davis to second. And a real big opportunity now for Cade Beloso. He didn't want to do that.
No, you didn't want to get to Beloso. It would have been great to end the inning and have Beloso leading off with nobody on in the fifth. But here he comes now. Runners at first and second as they get the jersey there on LaBruza.
Big chance for Beloso. Has been hit by a pitch, scored a run, and he just missed one flying out to right in the third.
It's LaBruza's 12th hit by pitch on the season, so
strike called. It's 0-1.
He's not afraid to stay in there and take one for the team.
Another great facet of being a good two-hole hitter. 2 on, 2 outs for the dangerous Cade Beloso. Beebe throwing in the bullpen. To right, should be handled. Got in on him a bit. Sepsich will put it away. 1 run for the Patriots on a hit. They strand 2. They've left 4. Bottom of 4th coming. John Curtis, Christian 5, and Jesuit 4. Here's a look at the upcoming broadcast schedule brought to you by Park Lakewood Apartments. Big matchups. St. Charles Catholic and Thibodaux to take on the E.D. White Catholic Cardinals. Watch it live at Sports Nola Wednesday at 4, Saturday at 11 a.m. on WHNO TV 20. What a matchup that is. Two really good baseball teams. Comets, Cardinals. Watch it. We now watch as John Curtis goes to a new pitcher here in the bottom of the fourth inning as they bring in Dax Ford to take over for Jay Curtis. Curtis threw 80 pitches in 3 innings. That's a ton of pitches. And now Ford takes over. He was in center field, so changes for Curtis.
Como goes to center field.
Como will play center field. So Como in center. And Jay Curtis now catching for Vidrine. So he stays in the game. First pitch is high to Sefcic, who singled, scored a run, reached on an error, driven home a run, and stole a base. He's been busy in right field as well. 1-0 from Ford, foul back. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Sefcic. So Curtis goes 3 innings. Allowed those 5 hits, 4 runs. Of course, the errors figured in. Strike call. 1-2. 2 earned runs off of Jay Curtis while he was out there. Struck him out swinging. Good pitch. Gets Sefcic for out number 1. There's a win in this for Ford if he can pitch well because Curtis only went 3 innings. So with 1 out, the batter is Mark Tiberge, who's batted twice and fanned twice. Now has to deal with a left-handed pitcher.
Nice sequence there by Ford against a good Sefcic to get that first out. Lefty on lefty now between Ford and Tiberge.
Tiberge back in. Here it comes. High. That's 2-0 to Tiberge. Three balls and no strikes. Dax Ford, his 9th appearance, 7th out of the bullpen, 2-0, 3.65 earned run average, 15 in the 3rd innings, only 7 hits allowed, and he walks him on 4 pitches. Tiberge to first base. Here's the problem for Ford. That's his 26th walk issued in 15 in the 3rd innings.
Yeah, it's a lot of free passes that you really need to do your best to stay away from. That, you know, starts innings for your opponent when you're putting that many guys on. You ignite their offense, so he needs to clean that up a little bit.
Sam Ovella's walked in line to left. That curveball didn't curve. It's 1-0. If you're Jesuit, you got to know the scouting report, I'm sure. They know each other pretty well. Point being, you have to make him come into the zone. He drops a breaking ball in there, and it's even at 1-1. Tiberge at first. He's stolen 6. Back foot throw to chase him back. Coaches, base runners always want to get a look at a move. That was the back foot move. Just missed the inside edge. It's 2-1.
Ford challenging these right-handed hitters. He did the same thing to Sefcic, trying to come in and command that inner third.
Check swing over toward the Jesuit dugout. 2-2 on Ovella. Spent a lot of time at the Ovellas. Big Sam, a wonderful man. Nicky, good friend. Sammy, good guy. To short, could turn. Second for 1. First for 2. And Curtis out of the inning on the 6-4-3 twin killing. Nothing across for Jesuit. We go to the 5th. Curtis 5 and Jesuit 4 on WHNO. And this portion of the first NBC Bank Prep Showcase is presented by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 35 years, transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. 5-4 John Curtis as we head to the fifth inning of this one. And Jay Curtis gets it started and takes a strike call from Cashman, who's on for his fourth inning. Jay Curtis has walked and scored and singled. Such a good player for this team. Heart and soul of the team, I think. Breaker missing away. And it's a ball and a strike. As mentioned earlier, a real good linebacker in football as well. And I think he brings that mentality to baseball.
Oh, absolutely. He brings a toughness.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Cashman. And he's ahead 1-2.
And that's the thing that I think helps Curtis the most on the baseball diamond is how many football players they do have, just bringing that toughness and that grit to the baseball diamond.
Next pitch, missing down and out. Two balls and two strikes on Jay Curtis. And the next out of play, right side. Holding at 2-2. Another 2-2. Breaking ball fisted toward third. Nice catch. Reaching out. Tibesh for the out. One gone. Let's take a look at the current power ratings in Division I coming into play today. They just updated these. John Curtis has moved up to the number 1 spot with Catholic now at 2. Holy Cross 3rd. Jesuit 4th. Rommel 5th. St. Paul 6th. Brother Martin 7th. Line toward left, that's foul off the bat of Ford. Now the pitcher, he has singled, home a run, scored a run, flied out, 1 for 2. And those standings just changed, and they're likely to change again as we head down the stretch here. Again, the top 3 teams get a bye, a double bye, essentially. Means you don't play for a while.
Check
his swing, it's 1-1.
2 weeks, which is pretty crazy to be, for lack of a better word, it's pretty crazy at the end of your prep regular season to be off for 14 days.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's a strike. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So our scientific poll continues. Every time we talk to coaches in this league, it's unanimous. Every one of them says they'd like to be in the 4 spot.
Well, it gives you the chance.
Why.
It gives you the chance to play.
Fly ball,
in the
hold that
opening
thought,
round.
left center field. Left fielder is there. Torrey put it away for out number 2.
Gives you a chance to play in the opening round. You don't have the 14 days off. You get to play somebody. And in a game like baseball, a break like that at that point in the year, I just don't see how that could be helpful. You know, you can only inter-squad so much. They don't allow you to pick up games. You can't add games against other opponents that might be in the same boat to your schedule. So you're pretty much stuck with going to practice and, you know, taking some strategic time off, I guess. But 14 days, that could really stop a good team's momentum.
Austin Hansel takes a strike. He's sacrificed and fly to right.
So a lot of coaches that are looking at it say, hey, we'd like to be the 4 seed, open up with the 13 seed, and not have to worry about being off for 2 weeks.
Toward the hole, base hit. So Hansel with a 2-out single gets Curtis an opportunity. And now Stevens will bat.
By being the 4 seed, Ken, you still have that home field. When you do play in that next round, you're still home. So, you know, that quarterfinal home game is still there for you. So I kind of agree with that. I'd rather be in that 4 spot, actually, where Jesuit currently sits.
6 hits now for the Patriots in the game on the hit by Hansel. And now Stevens will bat. Back to the screen. It's 0-1. I think it's an interesting thought process, and I don't disagree with him because, as you mentioned, even at 4, you get a bye. But you stay a little sharper by playing. And you get a pretty good draw, ostensibly, because you get the lowest possible seed at home in the opening round. Or opening round, but you know what I mean. It's so confusing now. It's a shame. Throw to first. Close. Runner stumbled. Getting back. Just getting back safely. I mean, barely. was Haensel. Kind of got stuck in the turf, if you will, trying to get back.
Close play over at first. Just gets the hand back in. Good call by the base umpire.
Great camera work by our crew. Can't get any tighter than that. Way to go, Albert.
Albert's been getting some good shots.
He's been getting a lot of good shots, and he got a lot of airtime. Off the glove, Lee saved an extra base hit, but it's a base hit for Stevens, who hit it hard. That's a big play by Marshall Lee. If that ball gets by him, it's into the corner.
Yeah, it's in the corner, and Curtis is running, and who knows where they stop.
Well, Stevens is a good-looking hitter.
Good reaction play. Ball hit off the end of the mitt into foul territory, but a good defensive play, even though there was no out recorded.
Now an opportunity for Ian Landreneau. 0 for 1 officially. First pitch swinging again over toward the fence and out of play. Chasing our truck with that foul ball. Close. No balls and a strike. Landreneau hit that shot back in the first off of Hess that ended up turning into an out. Laid down a good sacrifice bunt. That led to the go-ahead run. Last half inning. Execution so important in a close game. Missing down and out, 1-1. Runners will advance on a wild pitch. And a favorable 2-1 count for Landreneau. This becomes a big sequence in the game.
Huge spot right here, just like we talked about earlier in the first inning, where it was the difference of going into the dugout down by 2 or down by 4. This is the difference between being down by 1 or down by 3. So another big offensive spot here for Curtis, a big defensive spot for the Blue Jays.
2-1 on Landreneau. Cashman brings it. 3-1. Michelle on deck. Sun shining brightly now. Three balls and a strike. Ball 4. Loads them. And Alex Michel will bat. Fly to center. He's popped to third. No action in the bullpen for Jesuit. Here's Michelle, sophomore. Cashman will work from the stretch. Beebe trots to the bullpen again. 1-0. Cashman starting to elevate, perhaps tiring a little bit as SERIO heads to the mound. Just a settle down move on his part. Beebe shouldn't take long to be ready. He was throwing earlier. Here comes Joey Latino to kill for more time, right?
Keeping the infield back, just wants to talk to Cashman, his right-hander.
Jesuit, remember, stranded the bases loaded twice. Once in the first, once in the third. Curtis has had traffic. That left 4 on into this inning. And have 3 more on the bases now.
And it can slip away from you so quick against an offense like this. You have to always be on your toes, always be careful, and that's what Coach Latino is doing right now.
Ever so slow walk, right? Baseball's idiosyncrasies. You got to love it. You bought Beebe as much time as you can possibly buy right there.
Well, these teams know what's on the line here today. This game's going to go a long way in determining the Catholic League champion.
If Jesuit wants to win this league, they have to win this game today. Curtis can take a major step forward to do so with a win. Conversation paid off. It's 1-1. And again, just to ponder what's at stake, Jesuit tied with Rummel for second. They still got to play each other. Holy Cross red hot. Keep an eye on them. It's really all about those 4 teams at this stage.
Yeah, it's a 4-team race right now, as kind of the 4 teams that we thought it would be between coming in.
Missing the outside edge, it's 2-1. Brother Martin can certainly play spoiler. They're good enough to beat people.
And they finally got back in the win column against Shaw recently, so I know that felt good for them just to win a game. And it had been about 8 games or so since they had won.
We'll have Brother Martin and Jesuit here at John Ryan for you next week on the first NBC Prep Showcase. Keep in mind, the only loss for John Curtis was to Archbishop Shaw.
Yeah, Corey Nini threw a great game to help Shaw get that victory.
2-1 is down and out, so now it's 3-1. Cashman has dug himself a hole. Wants a new ball. Could be his last hitter. Beebe's ready. He's stopped throwing. They've waved the cap 3 times. 3 balls and a strike on Michel. He's driven in 16 in the 9 spot. That's pretty impressive. It's what you call lineup depth. On 3-1. Hit hard. Second baseman handles it. Jesuit gets out of it. Alexander throws him out. No runs, 2 hits, 3 stranded. Curtis has left 7. Let's take a stretch. Bottom of the 5th coming. 5-4 Patriots on top. Ken Trahan, Danny Ream, bottom of the 5th coming. John Curtis, Christian 5, Jesuit 4. Glad you're with us. We get set to roll here in the bottom of the 5th. Marshall Lee to be followed by Michael Torrey and then Parker Serio. Curtis has out hit Jesuit 7-5 at this point. Lee took it down and out. Lee has a base hit and an RBI. He's 1 for 2. Facing this left-hander forward for the first time. The 1-0. 1-1. Bullpen's quiet now. And here's the 1-1. Breaking ball over but low. Ford, much like Curtis, likes to work quickly. 3-1.
Curtis with that bye coming up in this portion of the district schedule. They can pretty much do whatever they want today, Ken, to try to win this game.
3-2.
They can use any combination of arms, whatever they need to do. Jeff Curtis can do it and not really have to worry about who's next because they've got their buys.
Payoff pitch. Struck him out looking. 1 out. Good pitch. Lee retired, and here's Torrey, who has an RBI. He's 0 for 2 officially.
Ford's done a nice job from the left side since he's come in, giving him a different look. Good fastball for the strikeout.
Late on the fastball is Torrey. Good breaking ball. Ford starting to look better and better. Ahead quickly 0-2 and quickly working again. 1-2. Jeff Curtis encouraging his hurler. Strike 3 call. Ford has fanned 2 in a row, 3 in the last 2 innings, and looking good doing
Well,
it.
he's getting the breaking ball over, and he's got some life on the fastball as he ran that one in to get the strikeout. Nice pitch. Very tough on that right-handed hitter. That ball coming in right on his hands on the inner third.
Parker Serio takes his strike, so he's throwing nothing but strikes. Now Serio has a single and 2 trips. Quickly the 0-1. Pretty good looking pitch, called the ball. Unlike what Jesuit did against Curtis, they're not really stepping out or calling time against Ford, who's just catching the ball and pitching. 2 balls and a strike. He's in a rhythm now. While Curtis has a bye, Jesuit has a big series coming up with Archbishop Rummel later this week. That's a ball, and it's 3-1. Even if it's not a district championship ramification series, which it could be, it certainly is a seeding ramification series. 3 balls and a strike. In the air to left. HAENSEL back as the wind works on it. 2 steps in front of the track for the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Ford. We've played 5. John Curtis 5, Jesuit 4. If you are interested in purchasing a DVD copy of today's game, send an email to prep@sportsnola.com or call our offices at 504-681-0120 during normal business hours. You will receive a reply with more information on purchasing DVDs. And the third pitcher of the game for Jesuit will be the right-handed senior, Chris Beebe.
10 innings pitched on the season so far for the Blue Jays, 2.80 ERA, 7 strikeouts in those 10 innings. So BB with a record of 1-2 on the year. On the bump, trying to keep this in where it's at. See if the Jesuit offense can get them a lead at some point here as we enter the late part of the game, top of the 6th.
If you want to know how tough this Curtis lineup is, Jesuit pitching has not struck out a batter yet. Strike call from BB to Brandon Davis, who's had a big game. Ringing double, run scored, RBI single as well, 2 for 3. BB a little bit 3/4 arm. Hides it pretty well, delivers away. 1-1. A little bit like Brandon Taravella, who we see from Holy Cross.
Yeah, similar side, 3/4 to sidearm type delivery from BB.
2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Davis. LaBruza and Beloso will follow here in the 6th against Chris Beebe. He's only pitched 10 innings this season. Not a lot of work in a key situation here. and he hit him. So not a good start for Jesuit in the sixth. A very good start for Curtis as they get their instigator aboard for the third time in this game. And that's the third hit batsman by Jesuit, one by each of their pitchers.
Another look at it. Didn't get him by much, but it did get him, and Davis takes off the shin guard and trots down to first.
So a conversation ensues. Pretty interesting that this is going on. They're checking to make sure he's okay. That's the reason for the break here, because you can't just call a runner over to talk when the opposing team has not called time, but that's what's going on here. And he looks to be fine. He'll trot to first base with his 11 stolen bases on the year. And we'll see how Jeff Curtis plays it here. I don't think you bunt because you don't want to open up a base with Beloso coming up. You could straight steal, hit and run.
Well, one thing with guys with this side type delivery is you can definitely take bases against them.
Go to first, runner back.
It takes a little bit longer to get to that slot, get the pitch to the plate. A lot of movement and run on the pitch. So they might try to use Davis's speed to steal a bag.
Zach Smith will begin to warm up for Jesuit. Outside, 1-0. LaBruza back in. Two balls and no strikes. And way outside, 3-0.
I'll take a pitch right here. Obviously on 3-0, BB having trouble locating the fastball.
And the 3-0, and that's a strike to make it 3-1.
See if Jeff Curtis opts to put Davis in motion here on 3-1.
Ball 4 outside. Trotting to first, LaBruza. 2 on, nobody out for Cade Beloso. Asking for trouble here, aren't you?
Davis was running on the pitch, so even if that was a strike, he had the base taken pretty easily, but it was ball 4. So first and second, nobody out for Beloso. Definitely not bunting here. He's going to be in there to try to come through with a big hit for the Patriots.
He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run, and he's twice flied to right to Sepsic. Swing and a miss by Beloso. Ask for the signals once again. 0-1. And he is bunting out in front of the plate. The play will be to first. The bunt works. Surprise, surprise, 1 out.
Wow. That's surprising there, but that shows you, I guess, Jeff Curtis's commitment to trying to add on to this 5-4 lead.
Well, he certainly has confidence that Jay Curtis can put the ball in play here.
Sure, Jesuit's going to be pretty careful here with Jay Curtis, because if you put him on, it does set up the double play for you. You have the base open.
Infield back. Jay Curtis simply wants to make contact here. Zach Smith throwing in the bullpen for Jesuit. They're going to put Jay Curtis on. Bases will be loaded with 1 out for Dax Ford.
And that's one of the things as a coach, whenever you bunt, you have to say, okay, if I take the bat out of this guy's hands, this is the situation it gives me. This is the situation it gives my opponent. What will they probably do? And ultimately, who will have to get the hit? So by bunting Beloso, it really put Dax Ford as the guy that is going to have to get the big hit for you.
Ford has an RBI single and a run scored. He's 1 for 3. And he's the pitcher right now on his way to a win if Curtis can hold on. He can really help that cause right here. 24 RBI on the year. Time called. Bases loaded again. How many times have we said that? That would be 4. 2 for each team in this game in respective innings. Down and in. And it's a totally different perspective with the 3/4 arm, hide the ball to a left-handed hitter as compared to a right.
Sure. Coming right into a lefty. Sees it actually pretty well.
And now it's 2-0, and there's no room to put him anywhere. Two balls and no strikes on Dax Ford. And it's 2-1. Infield hopes for the ground ball. One thing about these turf fields, you get true hops. 2-1 the count. Hard hit, base hit right. Curtis adds to the lead. Second runner for the plate. Throw by Sefcich, cut off, and it's 7-4 John Curtis. Dax Ford with his second big hit of the game, and he now has a 3 RBI game as well.
It's set up for Dax Ford to have to get the hit, and he does. Big base hit and break this game open here late. Now a 7-4 John Curtis lead with runners at the corners, only 1 down. Beebe was trying to induce a ground ball on the infield, but Ford comes through with a clutch hit and a big-time at-bat as Joey Latino heads out to the mound.
Just such good hitting up and down their lineup. Pitch around a guy, and you get beat by the next guy, and that'll be all for Beebe. Jesuit will head to its 4th pitcher. We'll tell you all about him when we return in a moment. 7-4 Curtis over Jesuit on the first NBC Prep Showcase. Ken Trahan, Danny Reams, 7-4 John Curtis Christian over Jesuit. Top of the 6th and looking to get some more as they'll try to do so against the 4th pitcher of the game for the Blue Jays, the left-hander Zach Smith.
Smith 1-1 on the season, 6.68 ERA, only 7 1/3 innings pitched, so not a ton of time on the mound. Probably, I would have to say, the biggest situation he has pitched in this season as Joey Latino brings him into this big district game.
And a safety squeeze is fouled down the first base side by Austin HAENSEL, who had a sacrifice fly in the first and singled in the 5th. He's 1 for 2 with that RBI. Very popular play that we're seeing more frequently now than I can ever recall, the safety squeeze. Runner at third has to make the read. Incumbent upon the batter to get the bunt down, which Haensel did not. 0-1 the count. Runner at first. Ford can run. Draws a throw. Pressure all around put on by this Curtis team. Ford has stolen 3 bases. Straight up defensively is Jesuit, hoping for a double play ball. We get a train in the background. That's the noise. Way outside and high. And it's 1-1. It's the Amtrak special. Passenger car is passing. I think I see Danny in there. No, he's right here. Never mind.
Nothing like a train at a ballpark.
And this one happens to run right next to the ballpark. Throw to first, runner back. When I did University of New Orleans games for years, and you were out there as well briefly, we called it planes, trains, and automobiles because you had the trains passing, the lakefront airport planes flying overhead, and of course, the cars in the Shell parking lot. When they pulled up, you could hear them because of the shells. But now they've paved it. So they ruined it for me. 1-2 the count on Haensel. What were they thinking, paving the lot? Actually, it's a blessing. About time that happened. 1-2 the count.
Park looks really nice.
It's a nice park. I was going to say that.
Really nice
really
out
good.
on the lakefront.
Paved it. First NBC Bank, great sponsorship. Padded the walls. Nice seating. Nice dugouts. Nice press box. Runner goes from first with no throw. Stolen base for Ford is his 4th of the year. And it's 2-2. First NBC Bank, an important sponsor here at John Ryan Stadium as well. What don't they sponsor? They just support high school athletics like no one else. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stepping out, Haensel.
Jesuit still with the infield back.
Yes, I was going to say
trail
that.
7-4.
I was just about to say that. Hitter stepped out, gets back in. They can ill afford to give up any more here and have a chance to win this game. Ford looking good on the mound, looking good at the plate. 2-2. Look out. It's 3-2 to Haensel. There is a base open. Stevens on deck, a lefty swinger. Haensel will dig in for a fastball he can handle against Smith. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 call. That's a bigger strikeout for Smith. That's out number 2. Keeps his team in touch with that strikeout, but now he has another tough hitter in Logan Stevens, who has 2 base hits, 2 RBI, and he's 2 for 2. He's walked and scored.
Whew. I don't know about that one.
Pitch looked down and out to me.
Looked like that one was well off the plate. Smith gets the call, and he'll take it. 2 outs now.
0-1 as Smith gets it over to Stevens. One ball and 1 strike to Logan. Now is in double figures with 10 RBI on the year. It's a good-looking hitter. He did not start the season for Curtis, but since he's come in, his average has been climbing every game. Inside edge, and it's 1-2.
Came in on the inner third. Good pitch there by Smith. That'll tie a left-handed hitter up, lefty on lefty.
A ball and 2 strikes. Stevens waits, and ball 2 to make it 2-2. And now the 2-2 pitch. Look out. Plunked him. That would be 4 hit batsmen by Jesuit pitching. Each pitcher in the game has hit a batter. That's an unusual statistic.
Sure is. And now Curtis really with an opportunity here with 2 outs. Busted open even more, up by 3 now. Bases loaded, 2 down.
Takes away the lefty-lefty matchup. Ian Landreneau bats. He's hit a shot that he grounded out on, sacrificed and walked 0 for 1, and he's ahead 1-0. Again, lineup depth for Curtis. This is a hitter batting .333 in the 8-hole. 2-0. Patriots won the league a year ago. Jesuit finished second. That is the current alignment again in the league as we speak, and it's 3-0. Rummel tied for second. Last year, Rummel and Holy Cross tied for third. So it's the same 4 teams for the second straight year basically battling for those top spots.
Todd Crabtree running down to the Jesuit pen trying to get loose fast.
But a little bit late to be ready anytime soon here with the bases loaded and a 3-0 count. Has to throw at least a strike, if not 2. Smith cannot. And John Curtis takes an 8-4 lead on a bases-loaded walk to Ian Landreneau. So he gets his 6th RBI of the season. Everybody advances. Alex Michel will bat.
RBI walk, Landreneau. Third baseman, Alex Michel.
Here's Michel. 1-0. Michel with 16 RBI in that 9 spot. 1-1. 4 runs down is a mountain to climb, but still in touch. Anything more, and it's pretty much curtains.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough if he gets away by any more. Curtis, as we talked about earlier, all hands on deck from a pitching standpoint to win this game.
2 balls and a strike, and they have no action in their bullpen. Very comfortable with Dax Ford, the way he's throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's looked really good today. As good as I've seen him look.
Michel, the 9th batter to hit in the inning with a 2-1 count. Towards second, Alexander has it. And Jesuits out of the inning. 9 batters come to the plate for Curtis. They scored 3 times in the inning on just 1 hit and lead it 8-4 going to the bottom of the 6th. For all the latest news on high school, college, and pro sports in Louisiana, be sure to visit SportsNola.com. SportsNola features a team of area writers offering unique opinions. Plus, catch our first NBC video updates. It's all at SportsNola.com. 8-4, John Curtis in control as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Bryce Musso will start it for Jesuit as the Blue Jay bullpen is busy again. Musso is struck out, grounded out. Musso showed bunt, took a strike. Ball gets away in the bullpen on the field. In the bullpen for Jesuit now, Todd Crabtree resumes throwing. Ford has come on and pitched really well. 0-1. Good breaking ball.
He sure has. Gave Jesuit a completely different look from Jay Curtis that opened the game, and has done a really nice job of keeping this Jesuit offense at bay as we take a look at the Jesuit bullpen. Coach Nolfi down there with Todd Crabtree getting him ready.
1-2 to Musso. Breaking ball beat foul. Still 1-2.
John Curtis trying to repeat as Catholic League champions this year. That'd be a heck of a statement for them in their first 2 years in the league.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Making their presence felt. They won the league in football this past year. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Tied him up and not. Struck him out. Dax Ford with his 4th strikeout, his 3rd in the last 4 batters.
The thing that's made him really difficult is the way that he's come in on the inner third. He did it again here, really commanding the inner third against these right-handed hitters for Jesuit.
And now Ford faces Nick Ray, who's been perfect. Takes a breaker down. Homered in the 1st, singled in the 2nd, stole a base, and then walked in the 3rd. Fouled it. It's 1-1. He scored twice in the game. Again, on his way to southeastern Louisiana. He played for Matt Reiser. Down the right field side, slicing foul into the bullpen area. Right by Crabtree. And the count is 1-2. Now the right fielder swung way around, playing in the pull. If he can go that way with a little bit more authority, he could have something good going here. A ball and 2 strikes. Good look at the right fielder heading back into position. Stevens. Ray took it outside, 2-2. Ford working quickly. This is hard right side, slicing foul. So he is going that way, not once but twice. This time Crabtree handles it. So Crabtree's saying, hey, I'm trying to warm up down here. Would you mind hitting it somewhere else?
Let me throw. Coach told me to get loose. It's not happening because of you.
Umpire just went down. I'm not sure what happened there. Not sure exactly what happened, Danny. We might have to check and see what occurred, and let's hope he's okay. Everybody comes out to tend to him. I'm not sure what occurred there. Maybe the catcher. Let's see what happens here. Right over the foot of Jay Curtis. Just goes forward, face forward. Toward long enough, as they say.
That's right.
And you'll see it all. And we have. Bottom of the 6th, John Curtis 8, Jesuit 4, to be resumed. Thanks for joining us. Our high school coverage continues with a trip to Thibodaux later this week for a big non-district matchup between St. Charles Catholic and E.D. White. Catch the rebroadcast Saturday at 11 a.m. on WHNO. Once again, your partial score. John Curtis Christian 8 and Jesuit 4 to be resumed. For Danny Ream and our entire WHNO crew, I'm Ken Trahan saying thank you for joining us and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.
I'm Gifting Gope, Major League Baseball player. Please support international baseball by subscribing to CBO TV.